Childhood neglect doesn't just feel bad, it literally prevents parts of your brain from developing their full potential. We're talking about fundamental neural structures, the very architecture of yourself, sculpted not by what was given, but by what was profoundly absent. In the next few moments, you will understand the intricate neurological mechanism behind emotional unavailability, distorted self-perception, and the subtle struggles with memory and stress that can persist for decades. We are going to decode how chronic emotional deprivation in early life imprints itself directly onto the very pathways responsible for your identity and your ability to navigate the world. This isn't abstract psychology, it's tangible neuroscience. Think of the developing brain like a complex garden. Every connection, every neural pathway is a plant that needs sunlight, water, and careful tending to flourish. During crucial developmental windows, especially in infancy and early childhood, the presence of a responsive caregiver acts as the essential fertilizer, the nourishing rain, the guiding hand. When a child experiences chronic emotional neglect, not necessarily overt abuse, but a consistent lack of attunement, comfort, and engagement, those essential inputs are missing. The prefrontal cortex, a region critical for executive functions like planning, decision-making, emotional regulation, and self-awareness, is particularly vulnerable. Without consistent, reciprocal interaction, the classic serve and return of early attachment, the neural circuits within this area don't get the necessary stimulation to myelinate properly or to form the dense, intricate web of connections vital for complex thought and feeling. Imagine trying to build a sophisticated supercomputer, but half the wiring is sparse, uninsulated, and frequently short circuits. That's what happens at a micro level. This isn't just a theory, it's observable biology. A landmark study by Teicher and colleagues in 2008, published in the journal Biological Psychiatry, utilized diffusion tensor imaging to reveal that children exposed to emotional neglect exhibited significant alterations in white matter tracts within the prefrontal cortex. These tracts are the superhighways of brain communication, and their compromised development means information struggles to flow efficiently, especially regarding self-monitoring and emotional processing. It's not just a feeling of being misunderstood, it's a structural impedance to understanding oneself. This subtle, silent deprivation during formative years leaves a lasting imprint, not just on the mind, but on the very gray matter. And the implications are far more profound than you might imagine. This structural impact fundamentally reshapes how a person experiences reality. Let's trace this journey from neural absence to lived experience. An underdeveloped prefrontal cortex struggles with tasks that others take for granted. Emotional regulation becomes a high-wire act without a safety net. One moment, intense feelings can overwhelm, leading to impulsive reactions or volatile outbursts. The next, a profound numbness descends, a complete disconnection, because the neural machinery to process and integrate complex emotions is simply not robust enough. It's like trying to run a marathon with compromised lung capacity. The effort is monumental, and often the system just shuts down to cope. This isn't merely about feeling overwhelmed, it's about a compromised internal thermostat for your entire emotional landscape. But it doesn't stop there. The hippocampus, another critical brain structure, also suffers. This region is vital for memory formation, spatial navigation, and crucially, regulating your stress response. Chronic early neglect often means a state of persistent low-level stress or intermittent high stress without the buffering presence of a caregiver. This constant physiological alert literally shrinks the hippocampus. Research by Luby and her team in 2013, published in JAMA Pediatrics, demonstrated a direct correlation between early childhood poverty, caregiver neglect, and smaller hippocampal volumes in later development. What does this mean for daily life? What does this mean for daily life? Imagine struggling to form coherent narratives of your past, experiencing fragmented memories, or feeling a persistent, nagging anxiety that seems to have no clear trigger. Before understanding this, you might have simply dismissed these behaviors. They're just dramatic, or why can't they just calm down? You might have attributed a partner's sudden emotional withdrawal to a lack of care, or a friend's forgetfulness to indifference. It changes everything. Now you see a brain grappling with compromised executive functions and a dysregulated stress response. You witness the subtle echo of a silence that was too loud in their early years. Have you ever watched someone cycle through intense emotions only to shut down completely moments later? This isn't a deliberate choice. It's often the visible manifestation of neural circuits that never fully learn to integrate and modulate their internal world. The mechanism of absence creates a silent void, and its operations manifest in every aspect of a person's life, from their most intimate relationships to their daily decision-making. Understanding this isn't just academic, it's profoundly liberating. This knowledge offers three powerful ways to navigate your world with newfound clarity. First, cultivate radical self-compassion. If you recognize aspects of these struggles in yourself, difficulty with emotional regulation, fragmented memories, or a tendency to feel overwhelmed by stress, understand that these are not moral failings or signs of weakness. They are the neurobiological consequences of an environment that failed to provide crucial developmental nutrients. Method: instead of self-criticism, practice mindful self-observation. When intense emotions arise, instead of judging them, simply notice their physiological sensations. Tell yourself, "My brain is working hard with the pathways it developed." Outcome: this reduces shame, creating space for gentle neurorehabilitation rather than self-inflicted wounds. Second, reframe your approach to relationships. When encountering emotional unavailability or inconsistent attachment patterns in others, this new perspective shifts your lens from blame to understanding. It's not that they don't care, it's that their brain literally struggles to process and express care in the way we expect, or to consistently regulate the emotional intensity that true intimacy demands. Method: set boundaries based on a compassionate understanding of their neurological challenges, not on an assumption of malice or indifference. Communicate your needs clearly, acknowledging their struggles without enabling them. Outcome: this fosters healthier dynamics, replacing resentment with informed empathy and preventing you from internalizing their neurodevelopmental challenges as personal rejections. Third, engage in targeted neurorehabilitation through conscious effort. The adult brain retains remarkable plasticity. While you cannot rewind time, you can actively foster new neural pathways. Method: engage in practices known to strengthen the prefrontal cortex and hippocampus. For the PFC, this includes mindfulness meditation, learning new complex skills that demand planning and problem solving, and cognitive behavioral therapy techniques focused on emotional regulation. For the hippocampus, regular physical exercise, exposure to novel experiences, and narrative therapy, actively constructing a coherent life story, can be profoundly beneficial. Outcome: over time, these consistent efforts can gradually strengthen these crucial brain regions, improving your capacity for emotional balance, memory integration, and a more robust sense of self. Consider that for a moment. What does that reframe for you? You now stand at a new vantage point. The invisible scars of neglect are no longer mysteries to be judged, but observable neurological patterns to be understood. You are no longer just observing behavior, you are seeing the profound impact of early environmental absence etched onto the very neural architecture that shapes a person's life. This isn't about excusing actions, it's about explaining their origins, recognizing that the silent voids of the past echo in the very structure of the present mind. Your perception of self and of every emotionally complex individual you encounter has fundamentally shifted. You now possess a profound insight into the very architecture of the self, shaped by the earliest absences. This understanding is a powerful tool for compassion, for insight, and for personal growth. The journey into the human mind has just begun, and there is so much more to uncover about the incredible complexities that truly shape us, waiting for those curious enough to look closer.